So what's the deal? The dealio, Emilio, the bottom of the rabbit hole, I guess you could call it. You see, religion is not real, unfortunately. There was no man named Jesus. No. Well, there could have been men, people, whatever. Yeah, sure. Somebody named Moses. There was actually people that were named Moses. But this whole Moses and the Ten Commandments thing, no, I'm sorry. It's, you see, all that comes from ancient Egypt. So does Moses, was Meses, was Ramsey. And it just doesn't work out for people with beliefs in things that don't exist. You end up being a slave. That's why they give you these beliefs, to be a slave to the beliefs, to things that aren't real, and to control you. So now we've got government, and that's all religion too. They're basing their authority on religion. That's what they've done. It's all Roman. Yeah, every single one. Every single government in the world is Roman. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes. So now we're going to have to try and deal with it, or we should deal with it, but we're not. I know we're not going to, because they just keep telling you that's not true, and people don't want to believe it because they already believe other things. But the truth is that all government's Roman. It's all the same government, every single one. It's all attached to one. Yeah. So you see, then they've basically taken people's perceptions. They've stolen human perception. And so they give you beliefs in things that don't exist, and then you call yourself that. So you're a Christian, or you're a Jew, or you're a Muslim, and those things actually don't exist. You're a human being, right? Let's get that straight. Human beings, fine. Deal with that. Deal with them as humans. But as soon as you become a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew, and then now you got problems. See, because now you've taken on these assumptions and these beliefs of this is the stuff that you're supposed to do in life. And you know, I know you don't, Christians and other, you're not forcing people, but see, the government is, and they're the ones gaining the authority off these beliefs, and you're just supporting them. You're like the wall in front of the protection wall, right? This getaway car that you're driving. It's not right, you know. Like, we don't even, Jews, there's no such thing as a Jew. I mean, Jews are what's left over after a spell. You don't want to be a Jew. You want to be a human. If humans are protecting other humans, then you're going to go tell somebody, you don't want to be a Jew. That's the problem, because it's not a person. No, it's more like a slave after we've been fooled with beliefs, and you become this other thing. It's just not real, unfortunately. And you, there's a spirit, sure. We just don't call it God. I mean, God's dog spelled backwards. They follow. They just use this language, and they make things appear. And so you won't find the spirit while you're looking for God. You just won't. Religion is there to hold people back. That's what they're to do, to tie them up and to bind them to these beliefs. It's confusion. You're fusing these beliefs with the truth and making beliefs in things that are not true real in your world. And you're saying it's my truth. Well, no, we only get one truth. You don't get your own. That's the problem. So they're confusing everybody to make you think that you're a Christian or a Jew, and then they put these borders up, these imaginary lines, and they say, we're going to call this over here, this land, we're going to incorporate it. And so this land is now a corporation. And so you're the corporation, because you have to work for that corporation. And so when you work for them, then you pay them. Like, that's backwards. When you work for a corporation, you're the beneficiary. They're supposed to pay you. So we don't pay them. Of course, when you look at it as a corporation, but they tell you it's government, right? But it's all the same. It's all Roman. So you're not a Canadian, you're unless you're a corporation. Which they, again, now you get into that, and they fool you at the beginning of your life, and they hand you a birth certificate, which is your contract to be a corporation. And now that you're a corporation, see, they've made the laws to treat corporations a certain way, that you have to be dealt with like a boat on the water, and it deals with money and their currency, this paper currency that does not have any currents over the water. It's a corporation, and that's you. That's your other identity. So now you're contracted under their authority. It's a belief. It doesn't exist. It's just that's the way they did it. And so you believe it. And you think like it's this good system and all that. I mean, economics is the same way. It's just a bunch of arrows pointing to this and that. in reference to consumption and other things that are real, but there's no rhyme or reason for it. It's not a science. It changes daily. It changes with opinion, for crying out loud. Like there's no way to actually nail that down as part of the metaphysical. It's not a measurable science. But, the paper that we use they just decide the value. That's all they do. It has a made up believed in perceived value that does not exist. Money's dark magic. Just like religion. Religion's dark magic. Religion starts it off. Religion's bad stuff. People are trying to say, oh, well, no, not all religion. It was infiltrated. No, it wasn't infiltrated. It was designed like this. Yeah, it just changes. That's all. So the real world never changes. It's just the religion and the beliefs do. The perceived reality. And it's under control by people in what they call government. They're governing you. So you're not free. You're a slave to government. Yeah, that's the problem. You're a slave to government. You cannot be free and also be governed. You can just, you got yourself in a little predicament. You're confused. So they confused you. They told you that you're free. They told you you have liberty, and then they told you that they're going to govern you and took them both away. And you just agree and believe it. Yay. This perceived reality, the carrot in front of your face, that's all it is. So COVID-19 is religion. Sorry.